Hello, hello, my wonderful collective. Welcome to my channel. This is me, Slava. Good to see everybody, and welcome the guests of my channel as well. If you're new, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, my wonderful collective, let's do another reading for you. Let's take a look what messages the universe have for you today in regards of your situation. What messages the universe have for you today? Okay, first card, cat. Okay. Mhm. Cat, second card is a park. Cat in the park, right? I don't know, some fakeness, fake people, fake friends, right? There's someone constantly trying to play this strange games, some sort of community, because park is represents some sort of community, and of course, cat immediately I feel the energy of like a cat and mouse energy, cat and mouse, false friends, fake friends, most likely on a distant from you. So someone is trying to play this cat and mouse game with you, which, okay, well, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? Also could be fake friends, right? Yeah, birds, mm, gossip, evil, right? Evil spell. It's always some sort of misfortune, fiery enemy, right? Gossip, like some sort of people here in your energy playing this weird game with you or trying to play this game with you, kind of like a cat and mouse for some reason. Um, and once again, those are dark individuals, dark people, right? Could also represent like gossiping, slandering, doing something, starting to throw some sort of drama, bring some sort of lies into a community, maybe into your community, just negative people. I kind of feel like it's not like you're directly surrounded because I feel like you keep yourself away from this type of situation. Like I don't feel like you're talking to these people. I feel like these people doesn't even really know the truth. They assuming, right? This is what I hear, that they do not have enough information about you, but somehow they go by some false information where they think is true, but it's not true, right? So they don't know you. They don't know you. I kind of feel like you don't give these people any chance. They're not in your surroundings, they're not in your energy, and they're still trying to, create some sort of lies. They're making things up. That's what I hear. They're making things up. They're assuming. They do not know the truth. They have no idea really what's happening because they don't know you. Or maybe you giving them some sort of false information and they taking that false information and blowing it out of proportion and thinking that they know it all. So the thing is, I feel like these people have no idea what's happening, but yet they're very accustomed to gossip about you. They're playing games, um, and yet they have no idea what's happening. So let's analyze it. Let's take a look. Um, who are these people? Who are these people? Constant, these negative people that simply are overly fascinated with your life. They're not happy, clearly. They're not happy. In the bottom of the deck, I have the card of the world. I mean, you already begin some sort of new cycle for yourself. Like you're moving on. You're moving on. You're a new person. I do see there's harmony here for you. You're very harmonious. You're happy within yourself. But yet these people, they don't get that. I kind of feel like whoever's doing this to you and talking about you, they're living in the past. But you don't. You see what I mean? You don't live in the past. You moved on. You moved on. You closed the cycle. You closed the door. But these people still blah, 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 blah. You know, they're talking on and on, on and on. Yeah, this is you, right? This is you. Look at this full card. You started already. You're new. You are a new person. You started a new life. There's a new beginnings for you. It's already happened. So I cannot understand why your guys are keep, well, like, of course, I understand. Your guys are trying to protect you. They want you to know that. They want you to know that, yes, you are surrounded by all of these enemies and these foes who are cursing you, wishing you misfortune in life. They're fiery enemies. They're dislike you. They're just not happy. They're not happy with themselves. You're happy with yourself. That's exactly what I see, that you are already by the world card. This is a world is about harmony. You are in harmony with yourself, your beautiful self, because you came up as a Queen of Cups. You know what that means? That means that you're loving yourself. You love your life. You're happy. You're happy with who you are. You're happy with this new incredible. You're looking right at the new beginning. See? New beginning. You looking at this new path that you already planned for yourself. You are moving heads on towards this incredible new beginning. But someone's not happy with that. And that's I truly believe that this is the reason why these people, your enemies, they're most likely your karmics from the past. Past people. Whoever you knew from the past, whoever knew you from the past. But for some strange reason, these past people, acquaintances of yours, or your ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, um, some women who are jealous of you from your past, they just cannot stop. They cannot quit. Or could be any situation that drags on for a long time. But you're a very intelligent person. Okay, I'm always mentioning that my collectives are very intelligent people, for which you are. You do not give them no time of your precious life. You moved on. You started a new cycle. And they, like I already said, most likely very unhappy with that. What do they wanted? What do they wanted? What do these people wanted? Why you are the most talked person in the circle of these people? That's all they talk about. You. What did they wanted? In what type of position they wanted to see you? Because I see everything is balanced here for you. You're moving towards stability. I will take a look exactly what new is coming towards you. But why? What do these people wanted to see for you? Lover's card. Difficult, right? Difficult partnership. So you would feel confused. So you would lost yourself, lost faith. Maybe for some of you, could be a legal situation, because Hierophant is often represents government, right? They really thought that you would get disorganized, that you would be rejected. There's a lot of rejection here. There's a lot of burdens. They thought that you would really be burdened. That's what they wanted. See, 10 of Wands, right underneath your feet. It was like that. You see, but you triumph over it. 10 of Wands is not above you. It's underneath you. All these difficulties and problems, you passed it. You don't have any problems. But they wanted these problems for you. They hoped really that through all of these difficulties, you would lose your faith, that you would give up. What is this lovers about here? Why there is lovers card here? Ring, lovers, hermit. Yeah, someone wanted you to be alone. They wanted you to be alone and have a hard life alone. So, so the lovers not necessarily mean being romantically with somebody. It also means that they wanted you to have no support from anybody, right? Lovers and a hermit. What is a lovers? Lovers is about partnership. It's when you would have somebody in your life that would support you, provide for you, maybe. Not, I'm not only talking about financially, but just having somebody you can trust, somebody that you, could call a friend, right? They didn't want you. They want you to be alone, completely alone. By the hermit, there's a hermit card. Some psychopaths here that, like I said, cursing you, swearing on you, stalking you, really thought that if you would be alone, you would encounter this difficulty. Someone really thought that you would not, under any circumstances, get yourself out of what these sick people have created for you. The life that they have created for you, they thought you would lose your face. It's a complete isolation, hard life, when you have nobody you can trust and nobody that could support you. That's what they wanted. What about her, Hierophant? Let's clarify the card of Hierophant here. Yeah, so there would be no... So you would give up, right? This is the card of miscarriage. That all your plans would fail. That you would just said, "Yeah, my life is terrible." That's what your enemies wanted. They wanted you to hate yourself, hate your life, hate everything, doubt yourself, lose faith in yourself. So no matter what you would start, it would bring no fruit, no result for you. So in other words, they wanted you depressed, upset, crying, you know. You didn't waste no time. Instead, you said to yourself, well, that's okay. One door closes. This is the card of death, right? Death means transformation. You transform yourself. You're like, well, I don't need none of this. And you learned how to rely on yourself, how to value yourself. That was smart. That was very smart. So this is behind you, right? This is all behind you. And in a way, I kind of feel like your enemies are shocked. They're really shocked. They did not expect that. Like I said, their bets was placed for the worst of you. They wanted the worst for you. But you showed them otherwise. Okay? Now, what are these people are talking about when it comes to you? Because you are the center of the conversation, okay? The center. This is the card of community. This is you, right? You are the center of the topic. So what are this conversation? What are your enemies are now talking about you? They know you're a different person. They know you completely transform your life. There's a judgment here. They know 100% you're reborn from all the problems and difficulties they caused you. They know that. So don't even doubt that your enemies question whether you're the same person you were, because they know you're not. Against all odds and against everything that they have done to you in order to make sure that you carry all these burdens by yourself, with hopes you will give up and hate your life, that you will quit eventually after multiple failed attempts to maybe seek justice or redeem your name, right? That's what they wanted. But somehow you managed to completely change everything. And that's how you shock this community. what are the top main topics about you? About you as a person, about your life? What are your enemies talking, chit-chatting with each other? Well, Page of Swords. What are they talking? Bunch of bullshit. Frankly, said it. What are they talking? Like idiots. Page of Swords. It's somebody who's so unwise, foolish, aggressive. It's just bullshit. It's empty, right? Empty. Page of Sword. It's an individuals who are like immature, you know. She's threatening. They could have threatened you. Saying, for example, oh, she'll get it. Or he'll get it, right? They're acting like, you know, this little chihuahuas thinking they're a pit bull. Really. You know, if I were to identify the card of Page of Swords, I would give an example, chihuahuas who's thinking they're like German canine shepherds. But they're not. Chihuahua is a chihuahua. They're not no shepherds. They're nobody. But they act so tough. It's like, oh, look at me. Right? So they're really angry. Your enemies, angry, cursing you, hating you, because they know that you're in a new cycle of your destiny. New. They can forget about who you were. You're different. You're better. Like I already mentioned earlier, that by the Queen of Cups, you learn how to invest in yourself. You are the definition of self-love. Healing, right? Cups is about healing. You healed yourself. You become a better version of you. That's not what they wanted. So yeah, whatever they're doing, they're like little chihuahuas. Yep, 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 yep. But you know what? The talks are about your victory. That you achieved victory over this unprecedented circumstances that you are facing. So you shock them. They know they're mad. They're mad that you won or about to win. They're very angry. They know. See, they know. You're a winner. They could have not withhold you by Eight of Swords. They tried. They tried to put a lot of obstacles for you to prevent your success. These two cards represents preventing of your success. So you would either quit voluntarily, or they were supposed to, you know, plan something. So you would give up. So you would lose. But you're not a loser, right? You're a winner, and that's exactly what they're saying. He or she is the winner. You're the winner. We could have not restrained you, detain you. You could have done nothing to her or him. That's what your enemy is saying. But I also feel like there is a fear of imprisonment, fear of incarceration. Your enemies are scared. They're thinking, how did that happen? How could that possibly happen? We were sure, we were positive. We burdened her life. We removed anybody that could ever supported you by the Lover's card, right? We destroyed her relationship. We destroyed her contacts. We did everything. Everything so you would have nobody by your side. We did this, Eight of Swords. And yet, you managed to walk out as a winner. Yeah, they're mad. They're mad. Angry. Yeah, and on top of that, look, success. They're talking about your success. Ten of Pentacles. You're moving up. You not only, like I said, become better. You're such an incredible person. You're such an incredible person because when life gives you difficulties, and I see that your enemies created this for you. Somehow, you're only becoming stronger. You're only becoming successful. As if difficulties in life, that fire forges you and shaping you into this diamond that you truly were, right? Diamonds are forged under pressure. You're like that diamond. You were forged under pressure. And then, kaboom, right? Judgment, transformation. You showed everybody who you are. You're not just a piece of rock, you're a diamond. That's you. That story is about you when pressure makes you a better version of you. You 100% not a pessimist. You're an optimist. You're a strong, smart, intelligent, beautiful optimist. Difficulties only makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. This is about you. That is 100% about you. Say 10 of Pentacles. You moved up. That's exactly what your enemy is saying. How? How? We cannot catch her anymore. She's up. You ascended to a better version of who you are. And the future for you is incredible. Beautiful. There's a lot of new beginnings for you. And yet you did so by Two of Pentacles. Easy, right? It was easy for you, kind of like it was natural for you. You balance your life. Everything in order. There's no disbalanced here. There's chaos with your enemies, full of chaos. But you keep it everything under control. See? Balance. You always remain positive and you always remain balanced. And no matter what your enemies try to do and have done already, to try to bring forth this negative, disbalancing energies, they failed because your life is under control. So that is currently what your enemies are talking about, which once again by Three of Swords makes them, they're hurt. That's hurt is not even the word. It's kind of like a mixture of anger. They're angry, very, very angry. They tried to make you angry. That's what they wanted. They tried to provoke you. They thought that their provocation will work, that you will start acting crazy, like damn little chihuahuas yapping. But you didn't give them that joy. You didn't give them that pleasure. But I do see that they wanted you by Three of Swords to feel hurt, to feel hate, to feel anger, to feel doubt, self-doubt, doubt in God, doubt in government, people. And you said no, right? Card of Strengths. Strong. You faced your demons. You truly worked on that shadow side of you. You faced your monsters. You faced your darkness. You weren't afraid. And there's a High Priestess you, right? Some of you, intuition here, very strong intuition. You have very strong intuition. You're a very intuitive person. You're very strong High Priestess. Some of you could be psychics, medium, tarot readers, healers. This is that natural ability that you possess, right? So looks like to me your enemies declared a war. Declared a war to somebody who have highly evolved intuition. Well, how's that working out? Not that well, is it? You just trusted your intuition. You trusted the universe. And universe supported you. You're not alone. That's the thing that these people still to this day, they cannot understand how you won. How? How could you get out from that mud and this pile of sick problems that these people have created for you? For them, it's number one question. How you did it. That is you. That is you. Very powerful, like I said, energy here. And there is fear. You know, I pick up fear. Yeah, see Tower card, judgment. Once again, some man here, manipulator, male in uniform, scared. Right? There's some man here. Maybe a corrupt cop, corrupt lawyer, corrupt judge, corrupt military, maybe. Some tyrant. Tyrant scared here, right? Tyrant, afraid. Afraid there's some corruption here. Legal maybe. Very close to the law. But I see that this man, whoever this man is, creepo, he's crazy, okay? He has crazy eyes. Like a, crazy man. Looks psychotic, like a psychopath. There's something about his eyes that just gives me creeps. But I do see that this man, whoever this sicko is, this aggressive, by High Priestess in secret harmed you. In secret abused you, an abuser, a tyrant. He will be brought to justice. He will be brought to justice because he have done a lot of damage to you. But he has no idea how strong you are. He has no idea. But he's yet to learn because I see he most likely will be incarcerated. Could be some criminal. He's definitely a criminal. Justice doesn't show up. Yeah, he's a military tyrant. Now, don't ask me the question how military gets involved in here, but there's a psychopath who is an either commander, officer, corporal, I don't even know, general, whoever the hell he is. He's a member of the military. This psychopath here. He's afraid, and he's afraid of you. He's afraid of your power. See? Something here you know, and he doesn't like that you know. He doesn't like. You exposed him. Maybe you exposed him through your intuition. If this is not a military man, then this could be any psychopathic tyrant that served military at one point of his life. Okay? But you put him back in his place. He's scared. This community afraid, right? They're trying to play this cat mouse with you. They're trying to outsmart you as a high priestess, a very powerful high priestess. And it's not working. It's not working. But I do see this man, everything falling apart for this man. Yeah. What did this man wanted? Just a quick question. Oh, of course, there's other people involved. He wasn't alone. There's the whole coalition of crooks. No, he's not alone. He didn't act it alone. There's a bunch of people here. Here's his colleagues, co-workers, friends. I don't know who. It was like a multi-departments, cops, military, I don't know, court system, medical, scientific research system. Who cares? Who cares? You shoo these chihuahuas. You put them back in their place. You said that this type of games is not working with you. You let them know. They know you know. There's a group of people, something corrupt here on documents, corrupt. Yeah, they force you at one point to walk away from somebody. Because there was an 8 of cups. You were pushed away. They did something against you. They could have framed you, set you up, and you were forced to walk away, to suffer. They're criminals, okay? Criminals that should be incarcerated. Yeah, see, walk away. Difficulties, betrayal, backstab. They didn't care. I feel like this group of criminals, most likely from some sort of military psychopaths, when they did this to you, they pretty much buried you, right? Death card. They were sure you won't make it. There was a 1000% guarantees that these idiots have bet on that you would not make it alive from whatever they did. But you show them otherwise, right? Now you calling the shots here. Now all eyes on you. Now they want to know, how does she knows? How does he know? Again, the card of Hierophant here. Wise, wisdom, truth, clarity, right? Truth, clarity, wisdom, High Priestess, Strength card, 4 major arcana. What more do I have to say? How do you know? Clearly not through books. Knowledge is power, okay? Especially extraordinary knowledge. Is that type of knowledge where an individual knows information and gather information from the most unexpected ways. Community, like I said, of these gossipers are very angry. They're very mad. It's some sort of community that become costume over time to get what they want. They treated you at one point as nobody. They thought you would never be able to survive this disease of their works that they have did against you. And now you simply proving them otherwise. And they're afraid. What are they so afraid of? The tyrant afraid of imprisonment. Yeah, they're afraid that they will be judged. Like I said, they're afraid that they will be judged for what they did to you. In other words, they're scared to be receiving boomerangs. If this is, let's say, an abusive process, an abuse of power, and anything that was criminally done to you, then they're afraid that their fraud and their corruption will be exposed. And they will be held accountable for what they did to you. Because there is a devilry here, right? Devilry. What they did was wrong. They know what they did was wrong. They're scared. But the devil is being judged. And this community here that targeted you are truly satanic. They don't have to believe in the devil to have a dark heart and immorality. It doesn't matter what you believe in. At the end of the day, there's a good people and there's fucked up people. Doesn't matter what you believe in. But the devil is being judged. They all being judged. And they all will be held accountable for the corruption and fraud that this idiotic military have done. And what they did to you for a long time. They stand no chance. No chance. Right now, like I said, they're trying to hide that corruption. There's a Seven of Swords. Lies, fraud, deception, torture, assault, harassment, fabrication of evidence, bribery, abuse of process. And there's also a lawyer here, corrupt lawyer, corrupt lawyers, corrupt cop, and a military. 3 departments were involved. 3 departments involved. Cops, military, lawyers, meaning judges, justices of the peace, attorneys. They all scared. And they all will be brought to justice. Clearly, they had their reasons why they did it. And the only reason why they did it that I can think of is personal benefit. But that is illegal, right? Because I see you should have never been in this position. They have done something completely at random. Now, that is in a way a safety risk. Imagine if military, corrupt cops, and so-called lawyer experts that doesn't even know the law to begin with, starting randomly targeting civilians and doing whatever the hell they want with civilians. That would be a very unruly country. And country without rules and laws is a chaotic country. There's chaos. That's why there's devilry here. But this trio and this organization really need to be put back in their place so they don't harm anybody else like they harmed you. But the problem for these idiots that they had no clue of how strong you actually are. They have no clue. But I do see whatever was done to you, this should have never happened. Should have never happened, ever. Never. So why they did it? What do they wanted? What do these clowns wanted? What is it? Promotion? What is it? What do they wanted? So it looks like to me they pick you at random. Like, okay, he, she, perfect. Let's target you. For what? That's my question. For what? For what? What do they wanted? Card of time. Promotion. Promotion over time. Promotion. They wanted. Not immediately, but they knew that over time. So for example, they chose you to do this to you this day, and then maybe in a year or maybe in a couple of years, they would quietly, you see my point? Quietly got a promotion. Promotion over time. That's exactly what this says. This is the card of a letter, right? Letter, corporate letter I'm talking about. And this is the clock. Time. Promotion over time. Of course, over time. Because if this was done to you, let's say today, and the psychopath, this tyrant idiot, or whoever else was involved, immediately got promoted the same months, that's a no-brainer. You see what I mean? They didn't want to be suspicious. So there was a time given. Okay, we'll pull this corruption and fraud and perjury and torture and whatever they did to you today, and then we're just gonna wait, right? Make sure everything goes smooth and becomes settled, and then eventually we would get transferred or we would get promotion. Very sneaky, very, criminals. They're organized criminals. They always planned, almost perfect until they faced you, because they did not expect that. And now things are different. Now they're afraid because their corruption exposed. So money, a sickening psychos that's supposed to protect humans, are in fact abusing humans at random for their own sick promotion. Now you tell me, do they belong in jail like every other criminal who commits an offense against a person? Yes. What else would they be? Only prison. So that's why they're bullshitting right now. They're angry. They don't even defend themselves because I kind of feel like, well, what are they gonna say? There's no defense to it. How would a criminal who commits an offense against a person sets the person up for self promotion and self benefit? What kind of defense are you gonna have? What kind of defense? There's no defense. How are you gonna defend yourself? All the judge have to ask, why is this person in this position where he or she should have never been in this position? What are they gonna say? Nothing. They don't even have an answer. They don't even have a proper justification. They're just talking bullshit, nonsense, okay? Nonsense, anger. They cannot even speak properly within their internal investigation that is happening. They don't even have answers. But they did it to themselves for the sake of promotion. But I do see this is over. Okay, what goes around comes around. Like I said, it's a perfect example where universe, right, the higher power here in the sun card, where the universe says, you know what, let me teach you a lesson. Hierophant is about lesson, right? Lessons. Right? You yourself also given to these psychopaths as a teacher in some way to teach a lesson. Because see, the Hierophant here having a board and formula, right? It's like, no, law says this. Morality is this. And of course, sun represents truth, light. You bring in light with your wisdom, with your balance, with your truth. You're shining light on this sick, unprecedented corruption. And that's never happened before. Never. Look who you're dealing with. Corrupt military, corrupt cops, and the corrupt lawyers. You're dealing with scumbags. Not all are scumbags, but these ones are. These are scumbags. They know the law according to them. How dare anybody question their power? Ooh. How does anybody dare to question their authority? You're nobody, remember. That's what probably they pick you. You came up as a Queen of Cups. You're like, I'm just so kind, right? This is you, Queen of Cups. This is your energy. You've always been the Queen of Cups. Kind, loving, uh, on the first sight, right? If somebody sees you, I guarantee you, people will always say, oh, she's such a sweetheart. Or, oh, he's such a sweetheart. He's so kind. She's so kind, right? Kind. Kindness by these sick monsters is always interpreted as a weakness. And anybody who interprets kindness as a weakness is an idiot. Stay away from these people. Anybody who makes fun of you because you're kind is an idiot. You were misjudged big time because within you is a tremendous power that these clowns have never seen before. You're their karma. You're their teacher. They know that. I mean, they're not that stupid to pull this shit. I'm sure they think they're the smartest narcissists. How would ever narcissists think they're idiots? They don't. They think they're the smartest, right? Yeah. That's until they face you. Then you put these narcissists back in their places. They honestly will act like a complete idiots. And that's, I feel, is number one topic. They're mad. You made them angry because you showed them their own pathetic image. Their true self has been exposed and they're not used to it. So good for you. Good for you, right? Good for you. On the other hand, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? What could be worse? What could be worse than facing these three clowns? All crooks. Could there be anything worse? So if you've been through that, ask yourself, what can you not handle? You can handle anything. You can handle anything. So at the end of the day, my wonderful collective, this was your journey. This is what you had to face and what you had to go through. I was confident to say that the future is incredible for you. I already see your strengths. It's a very strong message I'm channeling for you right now. Powerful message. So therefore, you should have no worries. Truth and justice will prevail. Okay? All right. All right, my wonderful collective. This was a very unique and interesting reading for you. I do hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. I'm proud of you. Keep it up. Be strong. Never give up. Always be positive and trust the process. If you're new, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to my wonderful collective. I love you guys. And I will see you soon. Bye.